Page 100, Entrance of the Emperor. We don't have anything new being presented in this lesson. We're just using what we already know. This is a good exercise in the inversions for the chords. So I'll go through the process for learning a piece of music. We'll see what we get. I look it over. I see it's 2 pages long. Treble and bass clef. No sharps or flats in the key signature. We're in the key of C major, so make sure you're doing the scale for C major. Cut time, or 2/2 time. So there's 2 beats in a measure, and a half note gets a count. That makes the rhythm really interesting to learn it. So what I normally do is I pretend that it's in 4/4 time to get it learned. And then once I have it learned, I'll put it in cut time. So for most of this lesson, I'm going to talk about this as though it's in 4/4 time. I will put it in cut time later. One hand at a time, make sure I understand what the hands are doing. The right hand, we have a pickup beat. So we're coming in and on beat 4 if it's in 4/4 time. Up here, and if you look further, you can't just say, well, this is where this, and this is a 5-finger position, this is my hand position. We're kind of out of that. We've moved beyond it. Now you got to look further in and see what other notes are involved to see what the hand position is. So you see the first chord is here. So this is really the hand position to start. So 4 and 1, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and. You get the idea? At the end of the first line, you have 2 beats of rest to come down here. This is just a C chord inversions. Root, first inversion, here. The fingering in the book is fine. Try and get the notes down at the same time if you can. And at first, you have to look to see where your hand's going. It would be nice eventually if you could actually get to where you don't have to look at the piano for the inversions. You feel where they are eventually. Measure 9, you're down here at an A minor chord. It's inversions. Okay, and measure 13, that's a D minor chord. It's inversions. Oh, goody. Measure 17, a G chord. Now we're going down. Second inversion, first inversion. Okay, and that's tied forever. Then measure 21, back to the C. Then F, measure 25, F chord. Measure 29, G chord. Okay, measure 33, back to the C chord, but we're starting in second inversion. And then you have the C scale coming down. I didn't really do the rhythm because most of them are half notes. Left hand, let's see what it's got. It's here. I don't know why the 4th finger is wherever it needs to go. Let's. Then F sharp. You don't want to be here, you got to do that, but that's a stretch. So if you can't, go ahead. And then hit F natural for the whole note, because that sharp's only good for that measure. And then it's the pickup to measure 7, 4, 1. It's a C scale going up. 4, 1, 2, 3. Then on measure 10, down here. It's an A minor scale. Okay, measure 14, we're here. That's a D minor scale. I don't know if you're doing the minor scales or not, but if you are, then this should be easy for you. And then measure 18. They want thumb. I don't know why they want thumb for measure 20. Yeah. I don't like doing this 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2 too much. I see no reason why that can't just be a 3, 2. As though you were going to go on up, because you have lots of rest to come back down here. Now, if you had a note immediately after that F in measure 20, and it was down here somewhere, then I could understand maybe using the thumb to keep your hand closer to where you want to go. But I have almost 2 measures of rest. That is to move. So I can end that on 2 here. That's what I'm going to recommend. Because then in measure 20 you can come down and C major scale again. The measure 26, you're up here. In measure 30. And then finally at the end, a C major scale going down. hands together. Let's see what happens if you're... I know it sounds wonderful, just go with it. Left hand's tied there, only the right hand's playing, and then measure 5, you're down here. As you're playing this, get the left hand where it goes. So you don't have to move both hands at the same time. The right hand plays first, I'm going to get it where it goes, and as I'm playing it, then I'll get the left hand where it goes. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, and. You get the right hand down here, and as the right hand's playing, get the left hand down where it goes. So I'm moving one hand at a time. Right hand where it goes, and then get the left hand where it goes. It's already there. So, and the whole thing is that way. Now once I have the notes and the rhythms okay, and I go back over any hard parts and I work them out, smooth them out. Then I go through it all and make sure there's no hesitations anywhere. Nice and slow is fine, but no hesitations. And once I've done that, I'll think about the articulation. Most of this is connected. You can't connect repeated notes, but pretend you can. Now on measure 27, you have staccatos here. Hinging at the wrist and kind of bounce. Again, on measure 30. So then once I have an idea of the articulation, I'll add the dynamics. F at the beginning is forte for loud. It's going to be both hands. There's no melody here. It's chords. It's called a fanfare. It's just a bunch of chords, loud chords saying, here we are, blah, blah, blah. Okay, that's a fanfare. And then they want you to go up to very loud. Here. Don't get very loud to the half note. And I suggest you kind of space it out where you start this, maybe the first couple of quarter notes stay where you are, and then gradually get louder. And then really land on that. And then measure 5, you're loud. This is both hands. Measure 9, come down to moderately loud. Measure 13, loud. Measure 17. Now you're moderately loud, go down to a little softer, moderately soft. Now you're moderate. So here you're hanging on to the right hand. Before you didn't. Now you are. And then measure 21, moderately loud. Measure 25, you have a crescendo. Oh, goody. Because when you get this, you got to look ahead and see, okay, how loud am I going to get and how long do I have to take to get there? Well, I see a forte of measure 29. So I guess we want to be loud by measure 29. There's not a lot of difference between moderately loud and loud. So you take your time on this. I suggest for measure 25 on the chords, stay moderately loud. And then on the left hand, we'll come up just a hair more. So most of the crescendos for like measures 27 and 28, that's where I'm moving the most. And now I'm loud. And then measure 33, you're loud, go up a little louder. Now you're loud in both hands. You're loud in both, just a lot of weight is all it is. It's, well, the emperor's here and it's loud and here we are and glad to be here and okay. Now once I have that, then I think about the speed. Well, it says broadly, but it's in cut time. That's where we got to put it back in 2. We want to feel this in 2. It's almost like a procession. People are walking left, right, left, right. Measure 5, left, left, right, left, right. About like that, because you're going to feel it in 2. Well, that makes these eighth notes and quarter notes move. So it's 1, right. Right, maybe a little faster than that. Has to be accurate, so don't go beyond accurate. Find the hardest part wherever it is, probably the run. How fast can you play that accurately? And don't go any faster than that. Now they've added pedal. We'll learn the piece without pedal so you hear what it sounds like and you're making sure the hands are doing what they need to do. And then we add the pedal. We're adding pedal mainly on the chords to connect them and to give them the overtones. It's like trumpets blaring away. Now the first line is introduction. You see at the end of the line there's double bars. That's the indication that you're leaving one section and going into another one. And it's all pedal there. That's fine. You're changing it with the harmony. The left hand's doing here. You're changing it with each of those at each measure, and it's overlapping. So the pedal does its thing after the hands do. So at the beginning, so I play the notes first and then change it. Now here at the beginning, because it's loud, put the pedal down with it. Here, not after it. Here. And then lift up for the 2-beat rest, or 1-beat rest if you're in cut time at the end. Then measure 5. You can put the pedal down with the chords here because it's loud. I can release the overtones immediately. Lift it up before you play it. So there's just a little bit of silence between here. If you don't want the silence and you want it connected, then you lift the pedal up right out as you play that note. That's interpretation. Whether you have a little silence in there or not, that's interpretation. I like the silence, so I put it in. So measure 5, it's a... And then on measure 8, you can pedal it right after you play the note and lift up for the quarter rest. Pedaling the longer held notes to color them. And that's pedaling throughout, same style. That was kind of slow. 1, 2, 1, 2. That's kind of slow, but it's up to you. Speed, articulation, dynamics, pedaling and all that, that's all part of interpreting the music. Everybody would do it a little bit different. There is no one right way to do it. Feel it. How do you feel it should go? Let's play this together slowly and check the notes and the rhythms. I'm not going to do any louds and softs. I'm just going to play the notes. All we're checking is notes and rhythms. And I'm going to do this in 4/4 time because we're going to go really slow. So I'll give us 3 counts, 3/4 note counts, and let's just play it together. 1, ready, go. Two, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, and. 2, 3, rest. 2, 3, 1, 2, and 3, and. 2, 3, rest. 2, rest, 2, 2 and 3 and 1, 2, 3, rest, 2, 2 and 3 and 2, 3, rest, 2, 2 and 3 and 4 and 2, 2 and 3 and 1, 2, 3, rest, 2, 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and